I'm going to be whacking everything, darling, if I do a full-on Wonder Woman circle twirl. Wonder Woman, ouch, 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 ouch.
Yeah. And so does that, like, when she glows, is that heat? What happens? Like,
look, it's magic.
She can't do it in a confined space. Then.
We're talking about Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, because her mother Hippolyta gave her the power to transform into Wonder Woman only when she twirls. I suppose that's okay, but we're watching the old series again because I have that series on DVD, 3 seasons of it, because when I was a little girl in the 70s, that was my favorite show. And that's why I have them. But while watching them, some stories are interestingly so relevant, darling. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yeah.
Some stories are so relevant to sorry, did I disturb you? To the times. There's one about alien contact and how the alien council is they're going to do away. They're going to do away with Earth. And they're watching us.
That was a good one.
That was a very good one. I think it was season 1 though. Maybe in season 1. Anyway, I'll share that with you sometime.
Yeah, it was.
It was a very it's, and you have to watch these shows from that time's gaze, not this time's gaze, because if you watch it from a 2024 point of view, it's like, whoa, this is really badly made. And Diana of Themyscira, she's an Amazon, but she's very, very, I love her. Do not ever fault Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, by the way. She's gorgeous. Natural. I do like the movie version directed by Patty Jenkins, starring, gosh, look, she's just an actress. She's not Wonder Woman. She just happened to embody Wonder Woman and Diana the way Diana is meant to be. But it's very, very sad then that Diana of Themyscira, a character created by a man who knew the power of women because he based Diana of Themyscira on his wife and their life partner, a very, very incredible character, then was portrayed by someone who is, look, she's pro-genocide. And look, I'm going to say something contentious here. Mm-hmm. Do the people of that state that is currently the prevailing genociders, I don't know if genocider is a word, but it is now. Look, English is so flexible. The bloody dictionaries add new ridiculous words every year. I mean, bootylicious was a word, which should be because Beyonce and Destiny's Child stated it was a word. So these words get, that was like years ago now, but words, new words and slang words and jargon and all that stuff gets added to the dictionary. So genocider should be one too. Now, are all the genociders to blame? Hello. I just had a beautiful ibis fly overhead. Ibis, by the way, in Australia, they call them bin chickens because these birds are very intelligent and they found out a way to forage in the bins because humans throw away so much food in their bins. I know you've heard of dumpster diving, not my thing, but I absolutely understand why it is a thing. We don't do waste at all. Dwayne is really, really good and efficient at not wasting anything. It's wonderful. But going back to what I'm saying, it's very contentious. I don't know. Because understand this, I'm on the side of humanity. I'm on the side of, I'm on the anti-genocide side. I'm on the anti-colonization side. Of course, hello, I'm brown in a colonized construct. I understand evolution, and this is something you were saying, darling. What were we talking about this morning? We were talking about Gattaca, and how Gattaca is an 80s, 90s movie. I love this movie, and I introduced Dwayne to it, and it's a very, very interesting premise. A premise I don't necessarily agree with. Sorry. And this is what we were saying about how evolution has stalled because the wrong people are in the positions of leadership and directionship. But let me go back to what I was saying, this very contentious thing. Now, yes, we expect people to be against genocide. But here's the thing. Both religion and race invite comparison. Comparison invites competition. No, doesn't invite. It encourages competition. Oh, mine is better than yours, or that's better than that. You know, how do you prove it? Competition. What is war? Deadly competition. Now, people of one side have then get told one thing, right? It's like, you know, people of, say, China get told the Western world is evil. They're not wrong. The Western world is not evil. The people who control the reins of the westernized world, and it's a strange thing to say West, because all the ancient, and that's only because all the ancient knowledge is from the East. And so we call the West the modern. I was like, what's modern about, you know?
I mean, if you stand in a certain place, China is west of it.
That's correct. That's absolutely right. I said correct because I was going to say correct, but I hate that term. I can't stand people saying the word correct. It's like, I'm sorry. Are you mocking me? Are you my teacher? That's correct. There was this really incredible Australian show called Rake, starring Richard Roxburgh, semi-based on a real life person, a Euro white Australian male lawyer. But Rake, did you ever watch it?
I watched a bit of it.
Right.
We were going
the last season was not good, but season 1 and this guy Rake is the character, is the person, and only a Euro white male can get away with this. Even Euro white males get Euro white women like this would get just nowhere, would get called, you know, as it is, he is a rake. That's not his real name, but rake is his nickname. And rake is an English word. Of course, we know what it is, to rake leaves, but rake is just, it's you larrikin, you know, rake is larrikin, or you just rake it all in, don't you? Or, you know, it's just a bit of it's a fond put down.
Right.
And if you get called a rake, actually, it's a bit of a compliment too. Like, oh yes, I'm not part of your society then. So that's what it is. It brings in all the, you know, rakes in everything kind of thing, something like that. Anyway, where Rake has been invited to a dinner, which he doesn't want to be at because it's a society dinner. He doesn't give a shit about society. It's hilarious, but he's a lawyer and he tries the best to do what, you know.
He needs to.
Oh, he's fantastic. Australia used to have some of the best shows ever. Water Rats. Oh, there's that one, what is it, the Outback one? It's one of my favorite actors, First Nations actor, Australian actor. He was in Water Rats. Oh my gosh, what is his name? Adam, one of my favorite actors. And he stars as a detective in this Outback series. And it's, oh God, who directed it? The first season was directed by a woman who is look, I'm so sorry. This is the one thing, we're not coming, Perkins, Rachel Perkins, Charlie Perkins' daughter or granddaughter. Charlie Perkins, a major name in Australia's history of activism. So Rachel Perkins directed this. Oh gosh. First Nations actor, Australia. Aaron. Anyway, this is why I should be doing some research before, but I never know what I'm going to be talking about. And that's the beauty of Alive. So, hey, really, you should be on board with us. I'll figure out the name of this actor soon. This is why I also need researchers. By the way, we are looking for sponsors because our show is gold and you should be in on it and you should be here and you should be sponsoring us because we could be talking about you and how wonderful you are because you understand what it is that's going on here. Truth needs to be told. Transparency will keep your privacy. Privacy is different from transparency. Transparency is the same. Transparency is public privacy. How about that? No, it's vocal telepathy. We need to be vocally telepathic with each other. The world is not going to change unless we tell truths. And people are not telling truths. They're telling what people want to hear. Anyway, back to the sponsors. We're looking for sponsors. If we had sponsors, then we could actually pay people. You know, people, the very, very precious, I don't know, creation of this planet, created to be custodians of every other living being. We're not a superior species. We were just a species that was deemed the most likely, the most likely to succeed. You know, in a school report, we get told that. Because school, I loved school, but it's not for all minds. Anyway, I'm digressing. So before that, sponsorship, come on board. The Daily Egg. Hey, do you have an egg farm? We could use your services. We want to employ people, particularly young people, particularly people. You know, people. We want to employ people, not AI. I would like real-time researchers right now. So as I say, look, what is the name of that actor? What is the name of that show? As I'm bringing information out of my brain, I would love to have researchers who we pay properly. They're not employees, they're contributors, they're autonomy. They have autonomy, they're independent contractors. That is what we are doing with our magazine, The Stylander. The Stylander is currently on a publishing hiatus because just the two of us produce all the work on it. And so we have to take turns in what we focus on. And we're about to start the publishing season on The Stylander. Again, it's going to be, we've got new editorials, well, old editorials. As I said, I am the only photographer currently. I will not engage the services of other creators until we are able to pay them. I don't think it's fair. I think we've gone past the time of, oh, it's exposure. And it's great when people say, no, it's okay. I have a job. I can afford to do this. Great, but I think people still need to be paid for their time and the energy and the hard work that is thinking and then putting that to paper, etc., to create articles or to photograph and to style and to model. So until such a time we can do that, we can pay our contributors. It's only Dwayne and me, and that's great because between us, we're like a 25-person production house. But we would love you, dear viewer, to come on board as a sponsor. We'll talk about you and grow with us because I assure you, we are going to grow. In this world, people are looking for truth. Right now, they expect it in 60-second bites, not in these hour or so long. What are these? Some would say diatribe. It's not a diatribe. Occasionally, it's a monologue but it's actually a dialogue between us all. So, if you'd like to actually be on board something that is growing with the world, hit us now. Contact us. Talk to us.
Mystery Road.
Mystery Road. Thank you, my darling.
Aaron
Aaron Peterson. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Mystery Road. No, that's okay, my darling. I didn't expect that, but thank you. But see, this is what I'm talking about. While you were away, I was talking about how if sponsors hit us up now, we'll have researchers, contributors that we can pay to do the research for us while we do the show and happening live, because I do already know two of my beautiful sister friends are incredibly good with research as well, and they love information and can look it up as I talk, etc., etc. Sometimes my facts are a little bit old; they need to be, and because I'm bringing things out from the mind. So I'm just talking about how what we could do. Well, if great toast. We're having toast now.
No, I'm just setting it up so I can make the roti.
I forgot to say, Dwayne is going to be making roti because I haven't finished talking about the sponsors. So let me finish that first. We also want to earn money for our other projects, and that one of them is the Stylander. One of the others is actually training young people of the Pacific region, the countries, and the diaspora. All of this requires money because, well, we have to take time out of our money earning schedules, that is all the time, we're freelance creatives, and no one pays us for that time. Likewise, the book that is the first book of our publishing house, DDB Publishing, Pacific Runway, the photo book that is done that we created and produced for our most esteemed client, Pacific Runway. The books that are with us are books that we want and have been and are trying to get into the hands of people who need it. Young people of Pacific origin, First Nations origin in Australia, of any multicultural background that can look at what was achieved by a person of multicultural background, Janique Sayuli, the founder and creative director of Pacific Runway. And it is such a testament. It is such what legacy of what can be dreamt of and then achieved, what can be visualized and what can be actualized. So we would like to get these into the hands of young people to like ignite your spark. That was Janique's quote, to always follow that spark. How can people follow a spark when everywhere they look, they don't see what is possible to be done by them, by people of their own kind? Pacific Runway, the photo book, helps people see what they can do, so what they can achieve. And we're trying to get it into the hands of young people. Much harder than we thought. We thought asking people, because we're asking people to pay it forward, I thought it would be quite easy, that people would jump on this, and could have the people who have generously have jumped, the people who have reacted straight away. Very few, because these are hard times. The book is $65 Australian, and postage within Australia is $15. But what we're doing is asking people to pay an additional $5 Australian, so that can go towards the freight. So the Pay It Forward book is $70 Australian. And this helps us because no one paid us to do this book. No one paid Janique Sayuli for the book to be done. The printing was sponsored by Powerhouse Museum. Thank you very much, Powerhouse. That was a wonderful thing. But actually the work, no. And this is, let me explain to you. If a publishing house that, like say Powerhouse is publishing, they have an internal publishing. If they did it, their staff, and there'd be like 25 to 50 people on this, because the books they create are, it's, they have a full staff at any publishing house. And then what would happen is that they would have the photos and they would decide how they would want to do this. And it would become not at all a Pacific, production. Whereas we are of Fiji, and we're not considered Pacific Islanders because of our ancestral background, although Dwayne is part Indigenous Fijian. So we're not Pacific Islanders, but still I have good standing within the Pacific communities because I represent Pacific endeavor and excellence, and I love it, and I know how to talk about it. I understand the ethical, the modern, the sustainability practices, and why actually Pacific origin creators need a bit more leeway than what the Eurostream demands of them. Pacific origin people were always always at the forefront of ethical and sustainability, ethical practices and sustainability. I teach about this in my fashion workshops. If you're interested, let me know. I have workshops that I do, and I'm about to do them in person, but I would like to have them accessible to anyone who wants them. They're not free. I can't afford to do anything for free at the moment, which I guess is something that people don't like saying, but we have to earn money to pay our bills and to sustain our existence, as human beings. And we are fortunate that we get to earn money in our skill set. I think that although that makes it harder than a 9-to-5 Monday to Friday job, I'm not saying a 9-to-5 Monday to Friday job is easy. There's pros and cons to everything. But, I think we're fortunate in being able to earn money through the skills that we were born with and our talents and things that we love. Because the alternative is to just not do that and actually work at something else that pays your bills so you can then work at something you love to do. Dwayne, by the way, is making roti, and I'll explain why he's doing that right now. But let me just finish talking about all that. So we would like to donate. No, not donate. We'd like to pay it forward. And each book that is bought by people, so we have asked people to Combine, join forces. 3 of you get together, buy 2 books, $140 Australian. 3 of you, it's hard times. We know it. Even people with money, even people with houses and cars and mortgages, etc., are tightening down because they, all of a sudden it's not a good life for anyone unless you're a billionaire. And we know what the billionaires are doing with their money. They're flying off the planet. They're, putting all their money into finding ways to leave this planet that they're leaving in a shit state because they mined and raped and exploited the earth and its people to become those billionaires. If you're still thinking that billionaires have a right to exist, you really, really need to unpack why you think this. Yes, you want to be rich, good. But do you want to be rich at everybody else's expense? And that means you don't want to be rich, you just want some kind of warped power to exploit other people. If you want to be rich, you want to be rich with everybody else as well. You want everyone else to have the wealth. Because we're all meant to have wealth. Anyway, going back to Pacific Runway, the photo book, yes, so we're asking for pay it forward. And it hasn't been as easy as it should be. You think that, corporations would want to do this. Like, they could just buy 10 books, but they say no. Why? Because it doesn't benefit them. So if you are interested, this is what I will tell you, that the books we do put donated by, right? Whoever buys the book, whether it be 1 or 3, purchased by, for, and their names, and a very secret thing we will let you know if you are a corporation, if you're a business and you'd like to purchase some of the pay it forward, you can buy 1, you can buy 10, you can buy 50, and these will go into the hands of young people in Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, hopefully Tonga. It's very hard to get the books, by the way, to Papua New Guinea. It's very expensive, but Papua New Guinea, the creatives there need it. They need that because there are things throughout the book. There are links to ongoing videos, etc. Currently, that too is on a hiatus because we are doing new content to go in the book. I know this sounds like crazy because, yes, the book has already been printed. It's already out there. So what's this new content I'm talking about? My friends, this is what you will know once you get your hands on one. If you'd like to purchase it for yourself, please do. But, it has to have some meaning to you. It's Pacific history. It's a legacy of 10 years of creative endeavor by people who said, no, you can't do this. An event created by someone who was told, you can't do this, stay in your lane. This is only for the white people. So, no. But if you are buying it, you won't get to see it. But within the book are some live links that are constantly changing. So right now we have put a timeout on that because we'd like to refresh the content in there. So when these books do get to people in Papua New Guinea and Fiji and Samoa and the diaspora, the Pacific diaspora in Australia, First Nations people, creatives, because each Pacific Runway show was opened by a designer of First Nations origin. A lot of these designers have gone on to do amazing things in the Eurostream and in the main, in the constructs fashion industries and in the Australian fashion industry. Still not big enough. I mean, it's only now that one in particular, like Leandra Swimwear, opened the show in 2019. 2019. And only now has got their first standalone walk at Australian Fashion Week. Australian Fashion Week doesn't give chances. It expects people to bleed and then they'll showcase you. And it's not what it used to be. And so now is the time to showcase. If Australian Fashion Week really wants to show something about themselves, if they really want to show that they're a player in the global fashion industry, first of all, they have got to understand what that means. Global fashion industry doesn't mean Euro fashion industry. Europe is no longer the focal point, no matter how hard they try. And my God, right now, there's some news articles coming out. Why has luxury fashion prices gone right up? I just saw this pair of Valentino jeans, hibiscus cutout jeans. 19,000 Australian dollars for a pair of jeans. 19,000 Australian dollars for a pair of jeans. And all luxury items. And now there's a story about Birkin bags. And I think we talked about it yesterday. Hermes Birkin, based on Jane Birkin, how in the 80s she was upgraded to sitting up the front because, you know, it girl, etc. You're a white it girl. And she was sitting then next to the head of Hermes, who had looked at her her bag, which was a famous wicker basket, because Jane Birkin was a British British woman who went to live in France and was considered a cool chick. Euro white people really, really love their cool chicks. You know, Kate Moss is a cool chick, and it's like they're skinny, they're thin, they're carefree, they don't care, they smoke, they drink, they have no, you know, limitations, and they're absolutely liberated and they're cool. Okay, great. Fine, it's lovely for them. So then Jane Birkin, who was this not particularly, you know, but she gets this bag that becomes this iconic bag because of her cool status. And she used to have a wicker bag, a basket. And the head of I can't remember his name, of Hermes at that time, and said, what is it you require in a bag? And very, you know, a good question to actually ask the people who use these things. And so she said that she needed it for practical reasons, blah, blah, blah. She needed to put things here, her, you know, this, and people need to, you know, women like stuff, and women who are mothers like to put things in there. And women like to have bags that can carry everything and without looking like it's carrying everything. We still need it to look compact. We need lots of pockets and everything, though. So this is what, and spacious and capacious, and, you know, not having to dig through and rummage through things. So I have seen a Birkin bag in life, and I just, you know, okay, beautiful, like, you know, but it's a bag. Now these bags are 250,000 upwards US. And also with the bags, they've become an ultimate status symbol, something that was supposed to be just about practicality. And so all these women and people who have these Birkin bags, I'm sorry, they're not the ones needing them. You know, it was done for practical working women, mind you. This bag was created as a practical bag for working women. Yeah, I don't think so. It's like the Queen Elizabeth of British royal family, when she used to carry around her bags. There's nothing in them, just a hanky maybe. And the bags were just used so that she didn't have to shake hands with the people. The people.
Don't they just keep their dogs in there?
Yes. But now, the Birkin, because it's created by one craftsperson. Now, I wonder if this craftsperson gets the majority of that money. I don't think so.
That is the question.
And we don't really know the truth about these things, but then we place such high value on the craftsmanship of a bag, but not on the actual blood, sweat, and tears of people mining lithium and cobalt, etc., for lithium batteries for our technology. No, we expect their babies, their children, to be out there working. Interesting world we live in. Interesting. I was talking about that Wonder Woman episode where this council of alien intelligence, you know, they're like, why should we bother with Earth? Look at what they've done. And this is an episode from the early 70s. And it's 2024 now, folks. Half a century later. Wow. If we are being watched, and it is very, very naive to think that with the breadth and width and vastness of this known universe, that in one solar system, only one solar system, in one galaxy. And how many solar systems does a galaxy have? Oh, look.
Trillion. Billion, trillion.
So we are only one solar system.
The stars. Look at the stars.
Do you know each star is a sun, potentially a sun? Some stars may not be there because that depends on how long the light has taken. So, you know, a star could be bright up in the sky, but actually doesn't exist anymore. But that's how long the light takes to travel to Earth. So, isn't it amazing? So that's why it feels like it's right there. So the sun is
the real ghosts.
Yes. Wow.
The real ghosts. That's how you see ghosts.
And
light of a dead star.
yeah, wow, beautiful. I shouldn't digress because I want to finish about this because I started thinking about dark matter and the gravitational pull of all the planets that keeps us, all hanging in what? What are we hanging in? And what is dark matter really? So going back to that Wonder Woman episode, yes, and Diana at Wonder Woman had to prove that look, the world is worth it. The world is most definitely worth it, but holy cow! As I'm going back to the news thing, so yeah, $19,000 for these jeans. Look, friends, I can't lie, I love them, but here's what I'm going to do: I'm going to make my own jeans, and I know everyone's going to go, ha ha, poor person's version of those jeans, and I'm like, not a problem. I'd rather that than pay $19,000 Australian for a pair of jeans that have got cutouts. They're very beautiful. I'm not going to deny that. But no, my friends. Let me just find this for you. Now, what else am I talking about? Talking about going back to Pacific Runway. Excuse me while I talk about, here it is. Here we go. Go, go, go. Let me show you, my friends, the jeans I'm talking about. Dun, dun, dun. Hurry up, hurry up.
Real life Disney princess, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, yes, I do sing about everything. So, darling, these are the jeans. Are they cool? Like, I want them, all right?
Right, okay.
But they're $19,000. I don't even know if that's Australian anymore, but I'm going to assume that's Australian dollars. Here, I'll have to show you. Look at these. Don't want your cookies. By the way, you don't have to accept cookies. You can reject the cookies. Or you can only accept the strictly necessary cookies, like it says here. Allow technical cookies only. But people accept cookies thinking that they have to. You don't have to accept all cookies. It's weird.
Yeah, I leave the site when I get up.
It's like you don't have to check in. You can fly somewhere without checking in and saying that you're up the front. I find that really weird. Okay, these are the jeans, friends. Look at these jeans. Okay, look at the hibiscus embroidered, and it's cut out, and I think it's very clever. And look, I love these jeans, but not enough to pay $19,000. Now, people will say, now that's a flex. Yeah, a flex of money. And to me, so celebrities who who are going to be seen wearing these jeans, they may not necessarily even pay for them because all the publicity that the design house will get from a celebrity, just depending, like say Rihanna, right? If Rihanna wears it, bang, bang, but maybe only 10 pieces will get sold. The others will be given to influencers. And I look at influencers and I think, you really expect us to believe you can afford $19,000 for a pair of jeans you won't wear next year because you only wear it before it gets trendy. Excuse me, I need to cough. This is a messed up world we live in. I know it seems like I'm going all over the place, but everything is related. I was talking about the Birkin bag. And now it's, what working woman, I'm sorry, the woman who needs it. It's an ultimate status symbol. And who is it a status symbol for? But this is the world we live in, where it's okay to wear $19,000 jeans. Let me show you the jeans again, friends, because look, they're lovely. I want them. I want them, but not at the expense of the world. So if I had, say, $20,000 to spend on a pair of jeans, truthfully, I can't do it in all. I do like expensive things. I am an expensive woman. He's an expensive man. That's got nothing to do with our upkeep. And that's not what it means by expensive. That's something I'm talking about. Okay, I think I mean refined tastes, or I like luxury, but to me, luxury is a flower. I know that sounds crazy, but oh God, what am I saying that I have to unpack this further because I don't want this to sound like I don't believe luxury and expensive are hand in hand, especially now, because just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's luxury, and certainly doesn't mean it's good quality. What is luxury? What is luxury? It's a definition that has changed. Luxury has always been something unattainable, and this is in our generational society. In this life cycle society, this has been happening for centuries now. This is not something I'm talking about just in the last few decades. Luxury has always been unattainable. That's why it's luxury. Now, I have to find the etymology of the word. This is where I would love those researchers right now. So, by the way, potential sponsors, get on it. Watch this episode, get on it. So, anyway, what I mean is that I do like to purchase things of quality. This is why I like vintage things. I'm wearing a vintage top. This is from the 70s. It's perhaps a night top or something, but let me just show you. It's a bit of a smock top. And the quality is such is that despite being 50 years old, thereabouts, it lasts. For me, that's wonderful. I find that luxury to me is something that has longevity as well as quality.